A very good afternoon and warm greetings to one and all present here. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Starting with a beautiful quote is always worthwhile as it transforms any situation into lively, motivating, and positive one. Here is a famous quote I would like to share on this beautiful day. If you can speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change lives. With that being said, I hope I lifted your spreads up. I'm pleased to introduce myself as Ms. Niveda Rajat, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, and I feel ecstatic to take up this lovely task of hosting today's webinar on public speaking organized by the Department of Human Resource Management of Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute University. It's my privilege to extend a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Ms. Paromita Chattopadhyay, Senior Manager L&D Academics, Twilight Talk Speaker, Women with Wings. We are really fortunate to have a multi-talented personality with us today. Here I have some information to share with you all. There will be a feedback link which will be posted in the YouTube chat box at the end of this session. You all are requested to complete and submit the form before 6 p.m. today to instantly receive your certificates in your register email. The link will be deactivated after 6 p.m. Dear participants, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the YouTube chat box. I will bring them up to the presenter and we will also have time for questions at the end. Heading to the program, may I now call upon an inspiring personality, Dr. R.J.M., Head of the Department, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Niveda. Without your involvement, you cannot succeed. With your involvement, you can't fall. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, with this wonderful quote, a very warm welcome to one and all for this webinar on public speaking. On behalf of the Department of Human Resource Management, Dr. M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, University. Heartfelt thanks to our founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam, and to our Honorable President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, for their never-ending support and encouragement towards conducting various programs. Happy welcome to our speaker of the day, Paromita Chattopadhyay, Senior Manager, L&D Academics and Twilight Talk Speakers, Women with Wings. She is a multi-talented woman with 15 plus years of experience as certified trainer. Besides, she is a wonderful writer, mentor, singer, proficient cook, poeter, anchor, moderator, and so on. She has received many awards and editor for Women with Wings. We are so happy to have such a wonderful, versatile personality with us today. Welcome, ma'am. Special welcome and thanks to all the executives, deans, HODs, faculty members, and others for your motivation and support to us in all the ways. Pleasure is mine to thank our Joint Registrar, Mr. Prabhu, Dean Academics, Dr. A.R. Arnachalam, and Dean Administration, Dr. Sendil Kumar, for their continuous encouragement and support. Welcome and thanks to a wonderful person who never hesitate to help us at any time. It is none other than Mr. Ganesh Babu, who is always behind the screen, supporting us in making all the program a grand success. Thank you and welcome, sir. Today, we are conducting a webinar on a wonderful topic, public speaking. Each and every one of us have a fear to talk in public. What is public speaking? Public speaking is the art of giving power to words to influence, inspire, and transform lives. It is important in both businesses, education, and public arena. There are many benefits to speaking in public, whether you are an individual, businessman, educationalist, or whoever we are. It is also called as oratory or oration, traditionally meant as the act of speaking face-to-face to a live audience. But today, it includes any form of speaking formally or informally to an audience, including pre-recorded speech delivered over distance by means of technology. Public speaking is a great way of building personal development on many levels, since improving communication skills will be helpful in almost every area of our life. Whether our goal is to engage in political debate, make a career as a motivational speaker, or gain confidence in front of audience, public speaking helps us to meet our goals. Over the years, public speaking in communication has played a major role in education, government, and business. Words have the power to inform, persuade, educate, and even entertain. And the spoken word can be even more powerful than the written word in the hands of the right speaker. So, as a human being, whether we are a business owner, faculty, student, politician, heroes, whoever we have to get benefit for improving our public skills, which we will which will give us more self-confidence, better research skill, stronger deductive skills, ability to advocate for causes, and many more. The truth is that speaking in public is a skill, and any one of us can learn any skill, while some people may have more natural speaking ability than others. Anyone can learn to be a better public speaker too. It just takes some know how and some effort. How to come out of fear and talk confidently in public, and to make what are all the necessary things which we have to do to overcome our fears and talk with confidence in public, and to make know much about this public speaking. Today, we have a very eminent speaker, Paromita Chattopadhyay, with us. Without taking much time, once again, I welcome you all. Third wave of COVID has started at many places. So don't forget to wear a mask while going out, wash your hands frequently, maintain social distancing, take vaccination if not taken. Be safe, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome to the gathering. It's now time to introduce our eminent resource person, Ms. Paromita Chadopade, to the gathering. Ms. Ramya, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, will introduce our guest to us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all of you. I find immense pleasure in introducing our eminent speaker, Ms. Paramita Chattopadhyay. Our speaker is a marketing professional turned educator who is passionate about transforming lives. To anchor a mission, she worked towards upskilling and seamlessly transformed into an assiduous L&D professional. She is a certified trainer with 15 years of experience and has assigned merit roles in education domain. He had at public speaking, communication, and interpersonal skills make her an approachable leader. She has designed and implemented bespoke training programs and a strong advocate of training as the most powerful transformation tool. She finds purpose and gratifications in community service and volunteers for several NGOs and groups. She is a student mentor for Indian Development Foundation and content writer for Women with Wings. She is the author and editor of Women with Wings, Fortnightly Magazine, Wow Sutra, and Penn's Narrative to Inspire. She has anchored award shows, concerts, and cultural events. She has also moderated talk shows, event launches, interviews, panel discussion, and was the first speaker of Light Talks presented by Women with Wings. She has been awarded the Best Academic Leader by Vivek High, Social Action awarded by Indian Development Foundation, Acharya Vinoba Bose Shikshan Samman for teaching training, Author of the Week by Story Mirror, to name a few to knowledge acknowledge her body of work. She is a proficient cook, singer, published writer, and poetess with a penchant for travel. Her mantra is dream big, start small, but most importantly, start. Madam, we feel extremely proud and thank you for accepting our invitation and your presence today, ma'am. On behalf of the department and management, we wish you all success in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It was an outstanding profile. Now, the most awaited time has arrived. Without any further delay, I welcome our guest of honor and speaker for the day, Ms. Paromita, to proceed with her presentation. Madam, we have no doubt that your experience talk is going to be an eye opener for all the participants today. Thank you so much once again for accepting our invitation and gracing the program with your wonderful presence as our resource person. I cordially invite you to enlighten the audience. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Jayam Niveda, for such a warm welcome. I'm deeply honored to be here and addressing such a august gathering of such renowned academicians and, of course, the future of our nation, that is, the students of this nation. First and foremost, why the topic? The topic of public speaking, like rightfully said by Dr. Jayam, is very, very important immaterial of which profession you intend to take up going ahead. We need public speaking skills not just to make a profession, but even to have wonderful relationships in our personal life. Therefore, public speaking is not restricted to a particular domain or industry of people, and it is important for every one of us. To give you a deeper insight into public speaking, I will be sharing slides and I would request all of you to wholeheartedly participate. I have requested Niveda to help me with the chat. So if you have any queries, you can please put it in the chat. And secondly, I will be asking a few questions with short answers. I would request you to use the chat and make the session interactive for us. Niveda, I will continue to need your support as we go ahead. I will be sharing my screen now.
Sure, ma'am.
Niveda, please help me understand if the screen is visible.
No, ma'am. As of now, the screen is not visible. Can you please try sharing it again?
Yeah, I'll do that. Is it now visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's get started. The topic today, as we've already understood, is public speaking. Speech is power. Speech is to persuade. Speech is to convert, and speech is to compel. Said Ralph Waldo Emerson, and rightfully so. If you see, take any leader in the world, they have become leaders who influence us because of the power of their speech, because they were able to persuade us with their compelling speeches. Therefore, each one of us have our own talent, but each one of us also have the gift of speech. It's just for us to unravel it and discover it to make it as an effective medium for communication. Before we now begin, Dr. Jayam also mentioned we all have various kinds of fears, right? So if you can help me understand what is your fear, I would request you to use the chat box to let me know what is your biggest fear. I would request all the participants who are watching the show to please let me know what is your biggest fear. Niveda, if you are able to see the chat, I would request you to help me understand if we are getting any responses from them.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
So, requesting all the participants here to let me know what, according to you, is your biggest fear. It could be any kind of fear because we all, as humans, have certain fears that hold us back from our dreams. And like Jack Canfield said, everything that you wanted to achieve is on the other side of fear. Niveda, have we got some responses?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Niveda, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Please tell me.
Okay, so we do have some responses from the audiences, right, about their fears.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. They've started responding.
Okay, wonderful. So to go ahead, let me show you a few fears that kind of grip most of the people of the world. Ill health, death, heights. Many of us have fear of heights. Deep water, flying, financial problems, insects, bugs, reptiles, snakes, lizards, cockroaches. So the list is endless. Many of us have different kinds of fears. But let me tell you what, according to a survey, is the biggest fear in the world. Can you believe it? 75% of the population ranks public speaking as their number one fear. Now, that's a startling revelation because when we are speaking to our friends, we don't think that we have any fear of speaking. Despite that, the moment we are asked to board a stage and address a large gathering, we are all fearful. And believe me, I am no different. As a child, I was very shy and reticent, and the thought of coming onto a stage and speaking to a gathering would make my feet shake with fear. So I was also among the 75% population for whom public speaking was the number one fear. So, what do we do about it? Whenever there is fear, there are only two ways to address it. We can forget everything and run, or we can face everything and rise. The choice is always yours, whether you want to choose A or you want to choose B. I chose B, and therefore, I think public speaking is a skill that we can all work upon and acquire. Some of them may be born speakers, but that does not definitely take away an opportunity from us to become a good public speaker. So, my dear friends who are watching the show today, please remember that it is a skill that can be acquired. So, you don't have to worry if someone in your class or someone in your office or someone in your organization is a natural speaker and you feel intimidated by your presence. Work on yourself, and you can definitely face everything and rise, and you'll be able to meet all the goals that you have set for yourself. Now, this is an activity that I wanted to do with all of you, which is an icebreaker, because we all have a leader in us, right? All of us are leaders in our own space. If you are in a group of siblings, you might be the leader. In your class, you might be the monitor. In your group of friends, you might be the heart of the party. So everywhere in your organization, you might be the one who takes all initiatives. So in all of us, there is a leader. In each one of us, there is a leader. So what I would want you to do is, what is that one quality in you which you think makes you a leader? I would want you to type in your responses in the chat box so that I know that yes, each one of you believes that you are a leader. To achieve anything in life, the most important thing is you need to have belief in yourself. The moment you believe in yourself, the first step is done, and then you can move ahead towards your dreams very, very confidently. So I would request all the participants of this talk show today, of this webinar today, to let me know in the chat box what is that one quality in them. It could be empathy, it could be honesty, it could be hard work, it could be any kind of a trait in them which they think makes them a leader. So please put all your leadership qualities into the chat box for me to know that yes, you know that there is a leader in you. Niveda, I would request you to keep collecting it, and we will see all of that towards the end when we are taking the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
So, what is it that you will learn by the end of this webinar? What is it in it for me? So, what is it in it for you? You will learn about introduction to public speaking. You will learn audience analysis. You will also learn about the speech making process. You will learn how to outline a speaker's speech, the different kinds of introductions and conclusions that you can have in public speaking, what are the different methods of delivery, and the most important thing, how to handle questions. Many of us are good speakers, but when it comes to handling questions, it kind of makes us nervous because we really don't know how many questions are going to come, what kind of questions are going to come. So that ability to be able to stand up on your feet, think on your feet, and quickly answer is a skill that we need to acquire. And I will try and be a catalyst in this process for you today. So this is what I hope that we will all achieve by the end of this session. What is public speaking? Like Dr. J.M. said, public speaking is the process or act of performing a speech to a live audience. Public speaking is commonly understood as a formal, face to face speaking to a single person or sometimes even to a large group of listeners. So, this is what is public speaking. Now, you might ask me, ma'am, if this is public speaking, when I'm talking to my friends, is that also public speaking? Let me tell you what the difference is. What you're having with your group of friends, my participants, is called a conversation. Vis-a-vis, what we are talking about here is public speaking. What is the basic difference between the two? In a conversation, the language that you use and the setting that you have is very informal. You can pat someone on the back, you can laugh, you can use the so-called short forms of words, and that is a conversation. However, in public speaking, when you're addressing a large gathering, you have to keep your language very, very formal. When you're having a conversation with your friends, you don't really structure it. You're suddenly talking about something, you recollect something from an old joke, you quickly put that in, whether it is relevant or not. So basically, a conversation is not structured. However, in public speaking, we are talking about one particular topic, and it's important that we stick to that topic so that we are able to drive home that point, or we are able to create the kind of influence that we want. A conversation is not really time bound. When we are talking to our friends, or we are having a chat session or a fam jam session, it goes on seamlessly for hours together. However, public speaking is time bound, so we have to stick to the time that has been given to us. In extempore speeches, you are just given a time between 1 and 3 minutes to communicate the entire idea to the audience. So therefore, time management is a very key skill in public speaking. Plus, in a conversation, your friend is allowed to interrupt you. However, in a public speaking, which is a formal forum, normally there are no interruptions and questions are normally taken towards the end. So, I hope I've been able to explain to you the difference between conversation and public speaking. Well, there are different kinds of public speaking also. So there is ceremonial speaking, like when there is a wedding and you're raising a toast for someone, or it is your graduation day and each one of you is graduating to become either a master's or a bachelor's or a doctorate in something. The kind of speeches which are given on those forums are called ceremonial speaking, or fall into the category of ceremonial speaking. The next kind of speaking is demonstrative speaking. Now, when you as lecturers and professors are demonstrating an experiment to your students, that kind of speaking to explain the process along with actually hands-on doing it is called demonstrative speaking. Basically, what we are trying to do is explain a process or explain a particular situation to someone. So role playing and science demonstrations form a part of demonstrative speaking. Then comes informative speaking. Whenever you want to give some kind of an information, like when the NEP was released, okay, so everyone wanted to know what the national education policy is. So there were a lot of webinars, lot of forums on which there was a lot of information being given about NEP. Similarly, conferences, or you have these workshops, all of it is informative speaking. Then you have persuasive speaking. Well, I'm sure you understand all our politicians and leaders are into persuasive speaking. Well, it's not just them. Even supposing you want to watch a movie of your favorite hero, and the others in the group want to go and have a good time, probably at an amusement park, you use all your persuasive skills or all your influential skills to ensure that all your group of friends agrees to go for the movie. What are you doing then? You are doing persuasive speaking. So these are the essential four types of speaking, public speaking. However, there are also smaller branches of it which are more customized based or need based. What is a speech, or what is public speaking? It is nothing but a communication process. I am talking to you. Unfortunately, you are not talking back to me, but it's a process. Communication is a two-way process. Okay. So, what all do we need in a two-way process? We need a speaker, like I am today. We need a message. What is my message today? It is public speaking. What is the channel? We are using the virtual medium. You are watching it either on YouTube or on Facebook Live or on Insta Live. So that's our channel. Listener. Who are my listeners? all of you are my listeners, and I'm hoping that all of you are listening really intently. Then comes the feedback. Now, Niveda said that you will be shared a feedback link which you have to fill in and share it by so and so time. Dr. Jam also said that. So that's the feedback that you will share with the speaker so that the speaker knows that yes, the message that I was trying to communicate has reached you and has benefited you. Then comes interferences. Well, one simple example of interference is the technical glitches that we face nowadays. The moment I was trying to log in today, they were not able to hear my voice. That is an interference. Even when you're teaching in a classroom, there might be a peon who's trying to come in, there is a sudden electricity off, or there could be a noise outside, there could be any kind of an interference in the communication process. And then comes the situation, the time or the place where you are actually having the communication. So this is basically what a communicate, this is a components of a communication process, and speech is no different. Speech is also a communication process. We speak because we want a point to be driven home, we want to praise someone, we want to give some kind of a feedback, we want to convince someone. That's why we speak. That's the power of speech. So, before you begin any kind of speech, what is very, very important for you to know, and many of you are faculty members, always, I'm sure, you design your lecture or you develop your lesson plan basis the audience or the students that you have in your class. So, similarly, in public speaking, also, it's very important that you understand your audience. Audience analysis is a very, very critical part of any kind of speaking in public. What is the size of your audience? What are the demographics? The age, the gender, the religion, the cultural background. What are their beliefs and values? What kind of language do they understand? Are they going to be receptive to a topic, or you think there's going to be resistance from them? Then there is also something called GBA. So a group, you normally known by the kind of association that you have or by the company that you keep. So it's very important that we understand all these things about an audience before you begin to speak. Now, when I'm speaking to you, you are all students and faculty of Dr.M.G.R. University, and I know that you can all understand English. Therefore, this session of mine has been designed in English. However, if I was to do the same session, maybe in a village school or in a village college, I probably would be using a lot of the regional language or Hindi to express what I'm trying to say. Therefore, for each one of us who wants to do public speaking, we need to know our audience, and that is very, very critical in any kind of public speaking. I hope all of you are with me since I'm not able to see all of you, but I'm hoping that all of you are benefiting from the message that I'm trying to communicate to all of you. Niveda, I hope I am very clearly audible.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Everything is very clear.
Thank you. Next, we move on to the context. Every kind of public speaking has a context. Now, today we are on a virtual platform and we are talking to each other. So we are indoors. But I have conducted sessions even in the outdoors, maybe in a courtyard or in on a playground, sometimes even in the banquet halls on the outside at the lawns. So the context is very, very important. We need to be able to speak accordingly. Now, because this is indoors, I don't really need to raise my voice a lot. But if it is an open area and you are doing public speaking, maybe in your college canteen, or you are doing it in your college auditorium where it's a very big space, you need to add more power to your voice so that everybody in the audience is hooked. Therefore, the context is very important in any kind of public speaking. The size and space of the room, the shape of the room. So we have different kind of seating arrangements that we do for different kinds of sessions. If we're having a storytelling session, we will have the seating arrangement as a U or as a circle, so that each one of us is as engaged in the session, and that you create that atmosphere of storytelling. You're binding them into the story. Then what is the kind of equipment available? Is the mic okay? Is the your projector, your slides, everything is fine? Whether the lighting is correct so that everyone feels comfortable, and of course acoustic, so that you know that your voice is not echoing. So all these things are very important for all of you also as faculty. When you are teaching in the class, it's very important that we understand this particular context before we begin to deliver a speech. Next is a speech making process. How is it that we should make a speech? Okay, now, like I said, in an extempore, supposing you are given a topic on failure. Now, we might have myriad of thoughts on failure. Can I share all of it at one time? I can't, right? I will be confusing all of you if I said so. So, what is very important is once you have chosen your topic, you need to narrow it down. You need to use brevity. Brevity is nothing but telling a large story in a short time. If you see all the advertisements on television, they tell you an entire story in a 30 seconds, or they tell you an entire story in 1 minute. But when you watch a movie, that same story is narrated to you in 2.5 or 3 hours. So it's very important that you understand that what is it that you need to do, and you need to quickly narrow down your topic and be able to deliver the message precisely and concisely to your audience. Because if you divert from your topic, people will just switch off. They go and have tea, they will wander here and there. Nobody will really pay attention to what you're saying. Second most important thing is researching. Once you have narrowed down on your topic, next thing you need to do is research thoroughly on your topic. Whatever is your topic. If your topic is about fear, if your topic is about public speaking, if your topic is about team management, if your topic is about the NEP, whatever is your topic, research thoroughly on it, because you should be able to tell the audience something new that they don't know. Otherwise, they will have absolutely no interest in the session. Then you go on to organizing your speech. Like I said, you will have 1,000 thoughts, but 1,000 thoughts can't be told. So you'll have to organize your speech. You'll have to develop an outline. And once your outline is developed, you've thoroughly proofread it, you know that this is what you want to tell your audience, you need to begin the most important step, that is, rehearse. Practice, practice, and more practice till such time you ace it. And then finally, of course, you are ready on the stage to deliver your speech to the audience and leave them clapping or awestruck. How do you organize your speech? Now, every kind of speech is different. So some speeches are organized basing the timelines. Supposing you're talking about the Mughal period, okay, then you will have to be using the timeline or following a chronological pattern right from the time Babur came into India. Similarly, so this is called the chronological pattern of speech, wherein you follow a certain timeline. So your start to end follows that timeline in a chronological manner. The next one is a topical one, wherein now suddenly it's like when Corona struck, you saw there were so many people, doctors, nurses, medical practitioners, everyone was talking about Corona, about prevention of Corona, about the kind of prevention methods that you should be using, the kind of care that you need to take. So that was a topical issue. Then a spatial one. In a spatial kind of a speech, you follow a directional pattern. Now, supposing I am to tell you, I'm giving you a speech on my journey from Mumbai to Goa. So I will follow a spatial pattern. I will tell you how from Mumbai I boarded the bus and how I went along the coast and how I reached Goa. I will also put in all my other experiences using my five senses to make it into an interesting narrative. Then a causal one. A causal one is nothing but a cause and effect. What caused the problem? What was the effect of the problem? You can organize your speech in that manner also. Then a problem solution. This is very common. So I think many of us are always doing this. Whenever there is a problem or whenever you're doing a project work, there is a problem. Then all of you get together, you find the best solution. So if you have to present that, what are you doing? It's a problem solution kind of a speech. Then there is compare and contrast. In this, you compare the similarities and present the differences between something. So in that case also, you have to organize your speech as to what is it that you're comparing with and how is it that you're contrasting. So these are the various ways in which you can organize your speech. Now, very important. You'll say, ma'am, you've told us different kinds of speech, but how exactly do I make my speaker's outline? Well, there should be an introduction, or what we call the hook. Then comes the main point. What is it that we are trying to tell them? What is my main message? Third is the supporting documents, the supports that you're going to give. You might give some statistics, you might give some reasoning. Everything comes in the support part. Then comes the transition. Transitions are nothing but when you're moving from one thought to another, always remember to connect the dots and then move, so that the person knows they are moving from the known to the unknown. So these transition between various points are very important in a speaker's outline. And the final one is the conclusion. Just like the hook or the introduction is very important, similarly, your conclusion is also very important, because there is called the alpha and omega effect. Alpha is what you start off with and holds the attention of your audience. And omega is the leaving thought with which your audience goes away from the session. So these two things are very, very important. So now that I've told you an introduction is very important, you might want to say, ma'am,
Ma'am,
what is the different kinds of introductions that we can use?
ma'am, one
Now I
second.
can come and I can say, okay,
Ma'am,
sorry,
your
Niveda,
slide
are
is
you trying to say something?
ma'am, your slide is not moving.
My slide is not visible.
Yeah, not moving. Next slide is now. Still is there. What is your fear?
Is it still on speaker outline?
Oh. Activity, what is your fear? It's there in the third slide.
Still it is on the that slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. Oh, I wish you had told me earlier, because I didn't realize that at all. Okay. Is the slide now visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
able to see my slide now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to go back and do it again? I really had no idea that you were not
No,
able to
ma'am.
see the
No,
slides.
ma'am. You continue from where you left.
Okay. Okay, I would like to do this slide one more time then. The types of public speaking. I'll quickly just go through this once and then we'll move ahead. So this is basically what I was trying to say to you, that there are four different types of public speaking: ceremonial, demonstrative, informative, and persuasive. Each kind of speaking is particular to a type of occasion, and it demands that kind of speaking. So ceremonial speaking is for graduations and formal occasion. Demonstrative is when you're demonstrating a certain science experiment or a role play. Informative is when you're sharing any kind of information with the audience. And persuasive is obviously when you're trying to persuade your audiences. Okay, great. So we will go back to the speaker outline. Is this slide now visible? Please confirm. Are you able to
Yes.
see the speaker's
Yes,
outline?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's visible now.
Thank you. Please let me know, because I'm not really able to see once I share my screen. So you'll have to help me in understanding whether my screen and whether my voice is, able to reach the audiences.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, so the speaker's outline includes introduction, very, very important. That's your hook line. Like I said, you have to get hold of your audience's attention by giving a very, very good introduction. Then you go on to the main point, which is your main message. What is your main message? That has to be communicated very clearly. Then comes your support. whatever is your support or whatever are the statistics, the reasons, the cause and effect that you're giving to drive home the message comes in your support. Then comes the transition. Whenever there is a change of thought, whenever you're moving from thought one to thought two or point one to point two, that time you should use your transition so that all your audiences can understand that, yes, now I'm moving from one thought to another. Then, of course, the conclusion, very, very important. Why? Because, like I just mentioned, the alpha omega effect. The moment you have hooked your audiences with your introduction, they are all bound to you. They are listening to you. They are all ears. And they will remember whatever you shared with them. And when you're leaving your audience, you also leave them with a call to action, which should be your conclusion. So the introduction and conclusion are very, very critical to any kind of speech. So, what kind of introductions can we have? You can have a quotation, like how I started, Dr. Jayam started, Niveda started. We all started using quotations. You can also start by identification with the audience. What does that mean? Now, supposing I'm giving you a public speaking, like I mentioned to you also, that I was also a very, very reticent and shy child. I had great fear of public speaking. So when I'm talking about public speaking, and I say this to my audience, that don't worry, even I'm very fearful of public speaking, or I was very fearful of public speaking. I'm quickly building a rapport or an identification with the audience. Create a verbal imagery. This is nothing but, if I tell you, when I was 5 years old, I had gone to a place which had azure blue sky, beautiful green gardens. What am I trying to create for you? I'm trying to create a verbal imagery. There is no image, but I'm going to narrate to you in such a manner that that image comes vividly in front of your eyes. Then comes an anecdotal story. An anecdotal story is a story from your life which matches the topic. We all are nothing but walking, talking human libraries. Each of our lives is a library because we have so many experiences that we have gone through in our life. So you can use a story from your life to do an introduction. Statement of importance of the topic. Like Dr. Jaya, when she introduced, she said it is so important to know public speaking. She was emphasizing on the importance of the topic. So you can also start by emphasizing on the importance of the topic. And then you can surprise the audience with a claim. You can say, do you know 75% of the global population is fearful of public speaking? You can even start like that. So these are the various kinds of starts or introductions or hook lines that you can use to grab your audience's attention. Similarly, in conclusions, very important thing to do is to summarize. What is it that I have done in the session? What is it that I was trying to tell you during my speech? I quickly summarize that. Then I can use a quotation to close it. I can tell the audience, are you going to begin now? When is it that you're going to begin your first step towards public speaking? What am I doing? I'm challenging the audience. Give them a vision of the future. If you make these small efforts, tomorrow you will be on the stage with a beautiful gathering of 1,000 people clapping when you finish your public speaking. So give them a vision of the future. Leave them with a question, like a rhetorical question. Tell them, if all of you can, why can't you? Leave them with a question so that there is a question in their minds which will propel them to take an action. Or a sing song. Sing song is nothing but something that you keep repeating often. From the beginning, if I keep telling you, your dreams can be achieved if you make your first step towards it. Again, in the middle of the session, I can again repeat that. And when I'm closing the session, I again repeat it. So what does it become? It becomes my sing song. That's also a very nice way to conclude. There are some very important things that you need now that you understood the structure of how you need to structure your speech. What are the types of speech? What are the components of speech? You also need to understand that any kind of speech requires presentation skills. And there are very critical 6 P's of presentation. First one is pace. How fast are you moving in your communication or in your speech? Second is pitch. If I'm going to say the entire speech in one monotone, I start like this. Okay, welcome to the session. this is what I have to say, this is how you can do it, and I say thank you. So I have retained the same pitch, monotonous pitch throughout. That does not hold the audience. You should be able to modulate your pitch basis the importance of that particular point. So pitch. Third is power. Whenever you speak something, put your power, put your punch into it. Fourth is pronunciation. If you are not sure about the pronunciation of any word, please be sure to look up the dictionary, hear the words many times so that you do not falter on the pronunciation. Next is pause. When you are speaking, use pause. Don't speak very fast. Hold. Give them some time to assimilate whatever information you've given them. And sixth, and the most important, passion. Whatever you do, you need to have passion in your voice so that people understand your credibility about whatever you're doing. So use your voice effectively with the 6 P's. Next one, very important, is eye contact. When I'm talking to you, though it's a virtual presentation, it's very important that I keep looking at the camera, though I cannot see any one of you. It is distant, but to me, the camera is you. So I'm looking at the camera and hoping that I'm able to connect with you. In a physical session, you must make direct eye contact. However, don't lock eyes. That's improper. That makes the person feel intimidated. Have a Z pattern. Look at someone. If you're sitting in an audience, skim through. 3 seconds, 3 seconds, skim through, skim through, skim through. So don't linger on anyone for more than 3 seconds. It can intimidate them. Then facial expressions. How I'm going to talk to you. Am I excited? Am I dull? Am I bored? It will all come through using my face. Use your smile. Smile is your weapon. It is your weapon to success. Use your smile well. And then, of course, body language. The posture, the gesture. Now, if I'm going to do a speech like this, so laid back, or bored, or doing this, no one is going to be interested in the speech. Your posture needs to be erect. You need to be engaged. They need to understand that, yes, you are enjoying every moment of the session. Use your hands effectively. That does not mean you have like an animated conversation, not like that. But use your hands effectively, especially in a virtual session, because the rest of your body is still. So, therefore, using your eyes, smile, and hands are all that you have. I hope these 4 key facets of the presentation skills are embedded well into you and you will be able to use it in your life going ahead. I wanted to do this activity with all of you. What's your filler? Now, this is a very interesting thing. When you hear people speaking, public speaking, they'll say, what I wanted to say was, what I wanted to say was, oh, okay, yeah, right, yes, okay. So these words are called fillers and are a strict no in public speaking. All of us have our fillers because we've gotten used to speaking the language in that way. Okay is one such word. People say, when I was going there, okay, I saw this person there who was doing this, okay. I mean, every sentence you don't need an okay. We are okay without the okay too, right? So we must, in your public speaking, try and cut down on the fillers, because fillers are distractors and it takes away the attention of the audiences. What should you do and what you should not do while delivering a speech? What you should do is be organized and concise. In short, don't have long stories to say. Keep direct eye contact. Keep your slides very simple. Be confident in your posture. Be loud in your voice. Use pace, pitch, pause correctly in your speech. What you should not be doing. Do not. Do not ramble. Ramble means you keep saying something, making no cohesive sense. Then bad eye contact. Like looking there when I'm talking to you. I'll keep saying the entire thing, I'll look there. Bad eye contact. Or I look like this, peer into you and make you feel uncomfortable. Bad eye contact, not to be done. Don't have like 100 words on one slide. Nobody's interested in reading those 100 words. Never fidget. No, strict no during a public speech. Then is fillers. Okay, thank you. No, not to be used. And if you use a very soft voice, today I'm going to be speaking on public speaking, and I hope all of you learn from this session. If I'm going to talk to you like that in such a soft voice and with no power and no punch, how are you ever going to be hooked on to what I'm saying? How am I ever going to be able to draw your attention? So these all are a strict no. And how do you get better? How can you become like Mike, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Atal Bihari Bajpayee, or APJ Abdul Kalam Azad, or Martin Luther King? How can you become that great in public speaking, or Amitabh Bachchan for that matter? They all just have one guru mantra: practice, practice, and practice. That's the only way to success. You have to keep practicing. And how do you practice? Stand in front of the mirror, say your speech. Gather your siblings, say the speech again. Let them be your critiques. Record your speech, hear it over and over again, identify the gaps. Get a small gathering of people in the family who are not going to be judgmental. Speak in front of them, and then finally gather your steps to go and speak on a big platform. But rehearsing, making small steps each time to achieve your bigger goal is what will take you to success in public speaking. So practice, practice, and more practice. If there are any questions, Niveda, I'm now open to taking questions. I really do hope the session has been useful and fruitful for all the people who were there in the audience. I would have loved to have interaction, but there's a limitation of the platform. So I'm ready to take on questions. Niveda, please help me in understanding what are the questions that are coming in.
Sure, ma'am. Dear participants, if you have any queries or questions to ask to our speaker, kindly post them in our comment box right now. Our speaker is ready to answer to your questions. As of now, there are no questions, ma'am, but they have interacted with you and they have given excellent feedback as well.
I couldn't see any chats, Niveda, so I was really hoping that I'd get to know from you. And I didn't
Session was
realize that
very
the slides
lively,
were
ma'am.
not moving. So apologies for that, because once the screen share happens, it's very difficult to identify what is happening till someone tells me. So despite not being able to see the slides, I do hope that I have been able to help them with their queries on public speaking, and kind of help them in understanding where the gaps are and how they can plug that in and they can become better speakers.
I repeat, dear participants, if you have any questions or queries to ask, you can post the same in the comment box. Our speaker is ready to answer to your questions.
Niveda, I hope I did not put you off to sleep.
No, ma'am, absolutely no. Okay, we have one question, ma'am. What is the importance of tempo in speaking publicly? I repeat, what is the importance of tempo in speaking publicly?
Thank you so much, Nandakishore Jadhav, for that question. Like I mentioned, this tempo or pace is one of the 6 P's, which I mentioned to you is key in public speaking. That is your pace. Tempo is nothing but your pace at which you are talking. Now, if I was to talk very fast and not let you assimilate that data, not let you understand what I am saying, then the audience will make some effort initially. After that, completely get switched off. So for this, audience analysis is very, very important. So you need to do your audience analysis and then plan your tempo or your pace of your delivery basis that if my audience is going to be very little children, very small children, I'm going to go very slowly. because they will take time to understand what I'm going to say. Even if I have to say things like, these are the 4 important points. Point number 1, and I will say point number 2. So if my audience is little children, this is how I would say. However, because my audience were all adults, I adapted a slightly faster tempo so that you all are not going to lose interest. Therefore, pace or tempo plays a very important role in terms of how you use your voice. Your voice is your weapon, like I say. And there is a famous American psychologist by the name Albert Mehrabian. He says that what you say only makes a 7% impact on the person who is listening, but how you say makes 38% of the impact. So ensure that how you say is very, very important. It's 7% words, 38% the way you use your voice, and 55% your body language. That's what makes up your communication or your public speaking.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any other questions to ask?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nandakishore. I'm glad that you paid attention and made some sense out of what I was trying to say. It's a topic very close to my heart, and I think being a very shy and quiet child, it took me a lot of effort to get here. And I hope that listening to me, many of you might be motivated to take this on and take small steps towards your goal.
Okay, ma'am. I think then we can wind up this question and answer session. With your permission, I would
Thank you
like to
so
wind
much,
up the
Nimita.
session now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for delivering a wonderful and an informative session. Your session was highly successful in the sense that it reached all the participants effectively and helped them to understand the importance of general speaking in public. Appreciation is the highest form of encouragement. Our resource person, Ms. Paromita, has lived up to our expectations and has given her best to enlighten the participants with her deep knowledge and profound abilities. It has hence become a bound privilege and duty on behalf of our esteemed university to appreciate her for the selfless sharing of knowledge to the academic community. I request Mr. Ganesh Babu to display the appreciation certificate as a token of our immense gratitude.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really
Please
appreciate it.
accept
I'm glad.
our appreciation certificate, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Niveda. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. With that being said, Ms. Deepa, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, is eagerly waiting to express her gratitude to everyone who helped in the success of conduct of today's webinar. I hence invite her to propose the formal vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all. Saying thank you is more than good manner. It's good spirituality with it being said. A team, I honor to privilege the oath of thanks to behalf of the Department of Human Resource Management for this one-day national level webinar on public speaking. Heartfelt thanks to our management, to our Honorable President, Engineering, ACS Arun Kumar, and all other executives for rendering their support and continuous various programs. A special thanks to our eminent speaker of the day, Ms. Paromita Chattapadian, for her wonderful and valuable enrichment session related to self-learning. It was an eye-opener for all of us who make known about learning skills. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presence and sharing information. Heartily thanks to our joint respected Dean A.R. Arunachalam Academic and Dr. K. Sendil Kumar Administration for this continuous support and conducting various programs. It is my honor to thank our HOD, Dr. Jayam, for providing the opportunity to deliver vote of thanks. Special thanks to our energetic participant for our presenting continuous support. It is my privilege to thank Madam Nivetha Rajit and her wonderful mastering of webinar. It also thank
Miss Ramya to introduce our chief guest. It was a stunning profile. Last but not least, my heartily thanks to Mr. Ganesh Babu and Miss Akshaya for the technical support. And I thank all our other who have supported with us in was. I be thankful for what you have, and it will be the having with quit finishing my vote of thank. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, we are really overjoyed with the support you are rendering to all our programs. Thank you very much, as it is because of you all we are able to organize many successful programs for the learning community. The feedback assessment form is available in the YouTube comment box. You are requested to complete and submit the form before 6 p.m. today. Later, the form will be deactivated. The e-certificate for participation will be sent to your registered email instantly. We've come to an end of the program. Hope everyone has gained knowledge. With the satisfaction of presenting a good webinar, we wish to sign off and meet you all in the next program. Don't forget to submit your feedback form and subscribe our YouTube channel, Dr.M.G.R University Phase II Digital Learning, and also follow our department Instagram, Dr.MGR_HRM 2019. We are also available in Facebook, Dr.M.G.R.HRM, and Twitter, Dr.M.G.R.HRM 2019 for further updates about our programs and videos. Thank you.